Okay, next review, Snow Magic. It's a pretty good yo-yo. It was on the snaggy side when I first opened it up, and I was kind of giving it a bad review just because it was so snaggy, but I realized that it was the bearing that was acting up on me, so that's kind of why I'm doing a freshened up review on it. But anyway, on to the review. In terms of smoothness, it's got vibe. No visible judder or anything like that. It's on borderline of juddering though, like I can tell it's like pretty bad. This yo-yo is pretty cheap though, so I mean, nothing unexpected there. It's really strange because it's got like the Auldey attachment kind of center cap and Auldey pads on it, so it kind of appears to be like a machine by Auldey. I almost wonder if somebody kind of just took an Auldey yo-yo and put it, like put a different ano on it and put a different engraving and stuff and kind of just resold them. It's hard to say for sure. I'd have to look into some more Auldey yo-yos and see if this one matches up with any of them. I don't think it does. To my knowledge, it doesn't. But it definitely seems like an Auldey yo-yo, even though it's not. It didn't come in an Auldey box. It just came in a baggie, and it wasn't branded at all. So I know it's not an Auldey yo-yo, but it seems to be. Seems to look a lot like an Auldey yo-yo, and it has Auldey pads. Just kind of strange. I'm gonna try to wrap this up real quick because I think it's about to rain. But essentially, it's kind of heavy. It's on the heavy side. I'm gonna throw up the specs on the screen so you guys can see, but it's definitely on the heavy side. It feels right on the edge for me of being too heavy, which for most people that would probably mean it is too heavy. It's got a big diameter and it seems really wide as well. Stability, it's kind of, let's see out on stability because I haven't tried it since I changed the bearing. Okay, it's definitely like not bad for stability, but for its weight and size, it should be more stable. I can tell it's rim weighted though. It seems kind of like, I don't know why it's so unstable. I think it's the pads, honestly. Those Auldey pads are kind of thick and they kind of cause it to be a little bit too snaggy, but it's not snaggy because I put a center track in it, which basically fixes all problems of any yo-yo. Just put a center track in it. But anyway, yeah, it's definitely still feels kind of snaggy because of those Auldey pads. They're kind of too thick. Yeah, the grind finish, let's go ahead and try that out. Grind finish is pretty good. It's definitely going to cut strings if you don't do something about it, which I got a tutorial on that if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I can already tell it's like starting to cut through this string. So definitely on the string cutty side, but it grinds pretty good. I can go ahead and try finger spin on it. I missed. Let's try one more time. Okay, so the engravings are causing it. They're so very terrible engravings that they're so thick that they just kind of like catch on your nails. So it's kind of hopping off the cup. Because normally on all the yo-yos you can finger spin on the attachment cup pretty well actually. But yeah, it's definitely snagging on the cup a little bit, or on the engravings anyway. And yeah, the engravings are pretty bad. There's like one spot where it's even like the machine got nudged or something, and like just like a squiggly line, like the laser missed. I don't know. It's pretty weird. But yeah, really, really bad engravings. They don't look too bad though. I mean, I'd say aesthetically they're not so bad. I've seen definitely way worse engravings, and I don't mind them. I mean, like I said, it was a $7 yo-yo. It's got a stainless steel axle, which is nice. That's kind of most are carbonized, those black axles. But I'm my preference is stainless because it's less likely to get stuck in the yo-yo. Not that that's an issue, but it's just better materials, I guess. But yeah, it's a pretty good yo-yo. I like it. I think it was definitely worth $7, but it's definitely not something I would like buy another one of. But I mean, I'd definitely buy it again. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's not the best, but hey, it was $7 and it plays pretty good for $7. Aside from that bearing locking up, which has never happened to me before. I thought that was a myth, that apparently they do lock up on you. You get a cheap one with a burr or some kind of, you know, inconsistency in the material. But yeah, it's the Snow Magic. It's pretty nice. I'm gonna head inside now because it's starting to rain. Alright, final thoughts on the Snow Magic. Super playable, pretty good design. I mean, nice kind of angular V-star kind of combo. Really not bad at all. It's got this like double rimmed like a COYW or like a purple line, kind of has the same thing, which is, you know, definitely not a bad design at all. The finish, the grind finish is definitely going to cut strings, but it's pretty good for grinds. I'm not real big fan of the shiny cups versus, you know, and having a matte finish on the inside. I kind of like just one consistent finish on the whole yo-yo. I think that's more aesthetic. I don't like to, you know, you really want to keep things simple. You don't want to, you know, try and complicate the design like that. The engravings are super cheap. They're real rough. They definitely cut like super deep into the metal. I like real light engravings, but I don't like it when they cut real deep like that. They don't look so bad to me aesthetically, but they're just really rough. And I mean, the machine was so old and rickety, and I don't know, somebody bumped it or something, why this one was getting made, because it's got like this like squiggly line where the machine missed or something. I don't know what's going on with that. The other side doesn't have it though, so it's definitely not supposed to be there. Pretty crazy. So I had to replace the bearing because of the bearing locked up on me, and that's why kind of why I redid the review. Because I kind of gave it a bad reputation because of that. But basically, it's got pretty terrible vibe. It's nearly a judder. I mean, borderline visible. And I think it's because the bearing's so easy to like it's almost loose on there. You really want to as tight as fit as possible with that. You know, I've had, you know, smooth yo-yos that have a little bit of a loose bearing seat, but not where you can just pull it off like that. You should really, you know, have to use a tool to get that off. So that, I think that's what's causing the main issue with the vibe. It's got the Auldey pads and like Auldey cups, so I think maybe it's an Auldey, but can't say for sure on that. It's definitely been machined by Auldey, but you know, I don't know. In terms of you know, like design, the mid wall here is definitely on the thick side. I mean, it shouldn't be this thick. On a bigger yo-yo, you expect it to be more stable and have, you know, more spin times. It definitely has, you know, better spin times than something lighter, but for something heavy, it's kind of, I wouldn't say unstable, but it's definitely leaves something to be desired here, because they really kind of screwed up the weight distribution. They should, you know, the whole point of having a heavy yo-yo is to beef up the rims and you know, keep everything else the same. So I mean, I don't know why they made this mid wall so thick. It's kind of taken away from the design. Other than that, it's pretty good though. I mean, $7, it's definitely a good yo-yo at $7, and you know, not too many complaints on it really. I would definitely recommend it. It's not something I'd buy again, but you know, I think it's worth having one of them just to have in the collection at that price. It's a good beater for sure, and yeah, that's the Snow Magic. It's definitely a good one. I'd check it out if you can find it. It's not on Ally right now, but it might be in the future. I'm going to do a video on how to get more Chinese exclusive stuff, but we'll save that for another time. And yeah, that's the Snow Magic. It's a good one. Recommended for sure.